Hi guys and welcome back to Through the Dogs of the Times. We're at part 10, the start of chapter 3. We have a little bit of a cinematic
No one
coming up.
outside the camp knew of the events of that day. No one wanted to know. The new Germany was being celebrated in Berlin, as if it were a country like any other. Hitler lied, and the world wanted to believe him. In 1938, Britain and France gave in to Germany's aggressive demands to annex the Sudetenland. Soon thereafter, Austria followed. When the Wehrmacht invaded Poland, Britain and France finally decided to declare war on Germany. An unleashed Wehrmacht spread murder and annihilation across Europe. The Nazis kept their promises, and we were devastated.
So there we go, chapter 3 is war. Stop Hitler's war. Obviously we can't stop Hitler's war, it's based on historical accuracies. Hitler made his threats come true and brought war to Europe. Sudetenland, Austria and Poland are under German control before Great Britain and France finally declared war on Germany. Shortly after, Germany occupied France, and we were stunned to see fascism spread throughout Europe. Croatia joins Free Power Act. Berlin's Croatian Prime Minister Ante Pavelic signs Croatia's accession to a military alliance between Italy, Germany and the German Reich. Finland leaves the League of Nations, and German embassies in the US to be closed. So we have everyone here. And what's frozen lightning? Okay, we could spy on facilities, but we need army uniform first. Voice of Freedom is a massive risk there. Safe passage. Okay, so we still need like army uniforms, etc. So we just need to go and meet some people, basically, get some money behind us, see what opens up as we go along. So we're just going to go and get everyone in, doing a little basic task. For now, we've still got 10 supporters despite the time between chapters. We gained 3 marks there. We gained some paint. One supporter. And another supporter there. Buying some paper. Paul thinks he's been seen. That's a fantastic start. And Roman manages to meet some friends as well. I sit on a comfortable chair in the shadow of an old apple tree in the Manholt's Alloc garden. Volker and Anne Manholt are putting food from the basket on the table. Potato salad, fresh bread, and apple pie. Can I help you with anything? Thank you, that's nice of you, horse. But no, we're almost done, says Mr. Manholt. We'll join you in a moment. When the basket is empty, Volker places 2 chairs next to me and they take a seat. What do you say? He asks, pointing around the garden at us. At the garden around us. This is wonderful. How did you get it? It wasn't easy, says Mrs. Manholt. Everyone wants an Alloc garden right now. There's a long waiting list, but it helps if you have children and of course the fact that Volker is serving. When do you have to be back at the front? Volker is wearing his Wehrmacht uniform. The only detail on this day that reminds us of the fact that we are at war. Too soon, he says. Tomorrow. Where are you stationed? Are you still in France, I ask. I'm not going back to France, but to a secret destination. All vacations have been cancelled, said Volker. Something is going on. Do you have any ideas what they're planning? Talk about this later, says Anne. Now we eat. Elsbeth, Klaus, go wash your hands and take a seat wherever you like. Anne fills the plates with sausage, potato salad and a piece of fresh bread. Klaus wipes his hands on his pants and joins us. Thank you, Anne. This looks really delicious. I want more sausage, says Klaus, and holds up his plate, from which all the sausage is gone already. Don't eat like that. The rest is for our guest. Wait for Mr. Ward to finish first, says Volker Manhole. But I'm hungry now, says Klaus. Then have more potato salad, says Anne. I'm good. Klaus can have my sausage. See, says Klaus. Quickly grabs the remaining piece of sausage. We're having a little break now, says Anne, once we've finished our plates. The Gutmans are coming for coffee and cake. They should be here any minute. You invited those Jews? Asked Klaus. Why? Because they're our neighbours, says Anne. Now go and play in the garden. I'll call you when we have cake. I asked Volker. What is up with the secret destination? Where did he send you to? I told you, I don't know. Haven't you heard anything? Any hints? Rumours? They're rumours, say Volker. What do these rumours say? Some say we will attack Russia. But Germany and Russia have made a non-aggression pact. On one hand it makes sense, it's what he always wanted. Hitler hates Russia and the Russians. On the other hand, Germany signed a non-aggression treaty with them. It would open a war on two fronts, which is insane if you ask me, says Volker. What I would like to know is, what is happening in France? I asked. But the Wehrmacht is easy living. Sure, there is resistance. Yes, there is still the independent part of France with the exile government. But in the height of the Wehrmacht, France has been defeated. Without outside help, we won't go anywhere. How are things in Paris now? Well, it's occupied. It is still Paris, sure. But it is dominated by our troops, our police, our secret police. Think back to the beautiful day in Paris I had in the summer of 1936. What does that mean for the city? Clubs play the music the Germans want to listen to, and theatres they perform the plays the Germans want to see, and even the brothels, he looks at his wife. But I've heard, adds, even the brothels cater to the needs of the German occupiers. A couple roughly around the same age as the Manholts enter the garden, followed by a pale boy of tall stature, who I estimate to be 15 years old. Oh, it's the Gutmans, says Volker. Let's continue our conversation later. Yes, of course. For the second time today, we gather around the table. This time, Volker and Anne serve apple pie and coffee. The Gutmans have brought a sweet honey cake. Here, take some, says Mr. Gutman. Anne said, please. Thank you, it's delicious. Anne sends the children into the garden to play. Get up now, we Elias. Go play with Klaus. He's a nice boy. You'll see, says Mr. Gutman. Reluctantly, Elias gets up and joins Klaus and Elizabeth. How's the trip? Asks Volker. Fine, says Louis Gutman. It was not fine, disagrees Paula Gutman. It was hot, it was sticky, and it took ages. I really miss going by car. Get over it, says Louis. At least they let us use the trains. Won't be long until they ban us on the trains too, says Paula. Have we met before? Don't you live on the other side of the street? I asked. They do now, says Anne, before one of the Gutmans can answer. Louis and Volker used to work together as bookkeepers, Brixton shown. Where did you live before? We used to have a house in Stiglitz, inherited from my family, but not anymore, says Paula Gutman. In case you haven't guessed it already, we are Jews, had to leave our own house in 1938 and were forced to move into what they call Jew apartment. Must have been tough. We swapped a beautiful place against an overcrowded hall so some Aryan can live in our house. My apologies, said Louis Gutman. My wife tends to exaggerate. We are fine, really. Apartment is fine as well. The rat hole, says Paula. I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you for the sympathy, says Paula. I'm sorry for being like that. I know it's not your fault, but it makes me angry every single day. I hear you, says Vulcan. You can only to try to imagine how I would feel. I guess I'll just be as angry as you are. You have every right to be angry. I'm more scared than angry, says Louis. So far we had something they could take from us. There is nothing left now, but the only thing they can still take are our lives. The children yell out at each other. Charles cries in pain and comes running to the table, his nose is bleeding. Take a tissue to stop his bleeding. What happened? Did you fight? Asks Anne. He hit me, says Klaus and points at Elias who stands further away, partly hiding behind the tree. Is that true, Elizabeth? Klaus's younger sister has come to the table to nods. Why did he hit you? He just hit me, without reason. I haven't done anything, he hit me. Is that true, Elizabeth? The girl looks at her brother and back to her mother without saying anything. Let the parents handle the situation. I tell you, says Klaus, he's crazy, he just hit me. I asked Elizabeth, says Anne. Is that true, Elizabeth? Did Elias really hit Klaus without any reason? Klaus stares at his sister, hands clenched in fists. Elizabeth shakes her head. Keep your mouth shut or you'll regret it, yells Klaus. No, she won't. Tell us the truth, Elizabeth, what happened? Val says that Elias smells bad, says Elizabeth. That it was a disgrace that they lived on our street. What else did he say? He said that it was Elias and his family are vermin, and once he was 18, he joined the SS and killed them. You said what? Volker steps up to his son and slaps him in the face. He turns to the Gutmans. I'm sorry. I'm really deeply sorry. Please accept my apology and be sure that this is not the way I raised my son. We're leaving, says Louis. I know you mean well, but we can't do this, I'm afraid. See, says Klaus. They're cowards, is what Jews do. Without warning, Volker slaps his son in the face a second time. You shut up now. I don't know who you are anymore, yells Volker. It's not his fault, it's the propaganda. Anna and Volker tried to convince the Gutmans to stay, in vain. The families left the gardens, loud humming come from the sky. An air raid, but where was the warning, says Anne. I look up and see hundreds, if not thousands of aeroplanes flying in one direction. There was no warning. These are ours, says Volker. Where are they going? East, says Volker. Nothing's happening. Something big. That was a long ass scene. Apologies for all the talking in there. Germany invades Soviet Union. Finland declares war on the Soviet Union, and Hungary also joining in on that war. I heard the laughter before I entered the room. Gustav Eulenberg sits at the table and telling a funny story about one of his neighbours. He always does such crazy things. One time, as the Nazis were marching past his house, he took a few rotten tomatoes and threw them at soldiers, shrieking, "Get out of my street, dirty Nazi swine." He only stopped when he ran out of tomatoes. His wife could barely calm the Nazis down. Amazing. Don't want to join us invite him to join us? Well, he's a pretty reckless guy. His wife is the only reason he's not in prison. I'm not sure how much longer it'll be before he's a real problem. He needs a new hideout or a new passport soon. We can help him. He really is a nice person. It would be terrible if something happened to him, answered Gustav. +5 morale, checkpoint. We're going to do one more day here. Write some slogans. Friends, by paper. Let's go and send Paul to convince some supporters' friends. Gustav and Roman. Go and talk to some workers, and then that leaves Sebastian and Horst to write some slogans. We lost one supporter, we still have 12, we gained 4 marks from donations this time. Paul meets a couple of active informer journalists, talks with them about freedom and resistance. People inspired and joined the cause. 4 supporters gained there, +2 morale. At night, Sebastian writes slogans on walls. Next day, many people noticed them. That someone had courage to put them there. 9 supporters gained from that one. And over eating the workers, 8 supporters there as well. So 20 supporters overall, +4 morale. 7,000 murdered in massacre in Lviv. British bombers carry out attack, a day attack on Kiel, and wages are dropping. Roman N tells us the nightclub he used to go to was closed. There are barely any places left to have fun. Everyone in the room can relate. I really miss those times before the war, those simple joys. I learned to appreciate them too late. I wish we could go back, away from all of this madness, says Roman. When the Nazi regime finally falls, we will dance the night away. Sounds lovely, I just hope we survive that long, says Roman. What do we have now? Observe activities. Horst can go do that one. Contact a priest. That one can be Roman. Contact a forced labourer. Observe army activities. Gustav can go do that one. Which means Paul can go and collect some donations for us. Lost 2 supporters, still have 31. We gained 9 marks from them. Sebastian secretly contacts a forced labourer to offer support and find out if we can help. The prisoner tells us that there are lots of forced labourers who might be interested in collaborating with us in a fight against the regime. 1 supporter there, we also gained a contact. Gustav thinks he's been seen but gets bonus morale, collects information about the army. Paul is going to collect donations. There's a witness. He's going to enforce that one. 25 marks gained, plus 3 morale. Horst finds out where they're storing weapons and equipment. There, that's very handy to know. And Roman is off to meet a priest and manages to gain another supporter there. So, no overall supporter gain, no overall lost, but plus 12 to morale as well. We must raise Moscow to the ground. Great Britain and Soviet Union signed an assistance agreement, and German troops attack Malta. I have somebody who needs our help, says Sebastian Baumann as he ends his dream. A child of a friend of mine was diagnosed with epilepsy. The Nazi doctors want to send her to one of their atrocious racial hygiene hospitals. You know what that means? Nobody comes back from those hospitals. You must hide the child and her parents, says Sebastian nervously. I can't abandon my friend at a moment like this. Calm down, we'll find a solution. I honestly don't understand how people can support such things. What does it mean to be human if you murdered those who need your help and can't protect themselves, replies Sebastian. So we can try and find a hideout for them. But that is where we're going to end this episode. We'll be back on Thursday for the next one. If you have enjoyed this, please do hit that like button, subscribe and ring the bell for more. Until next time, stay safe. Next one.